so therapeutic. Today I'll be giving you a sneak peek of all the apps that I use on my iPad Air. I'll be essentially showing you all the apps that I have installed on my iPad. Hopefully this video will help you get some sorts of idea of what kind of apps I use every day, and maybe you'll discover some new apps for yourself. So I'm currently using the iPad Air M2. The only downside of this iPad is that I really wish it had a 120Hz display, but sadly I'm stuck with 60Hz. Hopefully the next iPad Air will have that. I'll only upgrade when Apple introduces this one, which is very unlikely at this stage. But anyways, 90% of the apps that I use in my day-to-day life is still here on my home screen. I rarely scroll to the second page, so that's how I'm able to stay productive and not waste time scrolling Instagram. So my name is Prithviraj and I create videos on productivity, tech and life. Alright, this is how my home screen looks, and as I said, every single app that I use every day is here on my home screen. I'm currently using the iMac M3 wallpaper, the red one. It kind of looks good, and I'm also running on the iPadOS 26 public beta 4, and trust me, things have really improved since the original beta rolled out, and the liquid glass somewhat looks better now. So the first thing you can see are the widgets here on my home screen. I have the clock widget cause it kind of looks good, so I kept it anyway. Next up is the weather widget cause it has been raining here for almost every day for the past 1 month. I don't know when it's gonna stop, but here we have it. Below that is my subscriber count widget on how many subscribers I currently have on my YouTube, which is 127k at this moment, thanks to you guys. I think this is by an app called SubWidget, so if you're a YouTuber, this can help you get some motivation to work. And below that lies my most important widget, which is the Todoist widget. It has all my daily tasks, so if I open it, you can see what all I have to get done today. So for example, I have a controller that I received faulty, so I have to create a return pickup for that. And the rest of the tasks are like I have to film this video and also schedule a reel that I have been working on. After that, I have some shoots pending, and also I need to get some screen recordings done. So this is my task list for today, because being a creator, you don't really have a day off, even it's a weekend, sadly. And I don't even remember how long I've been using Todoist for. I think from back in 2018, something like that. The best part is that we can categorize our tasks into different projects, which I have done, like social content, PR 75k projects for this channel, also the sponsored content I'm currently working on. So it all lies here. I have a clear view. If you have been following my channel for a while, then you know I have been still using the free version of Todoist, but finally I've upgraded to the paid version solely because of the calendar integration. Now we can do proper time blocking right here in Todoist. Before starting with the apps, let's start with the dock, cause this is where most of my regular apps lies. So firstly, Brave browser, cause I use it on every single device of mine and it syncs perfectly. I'm not a fan of Safari, especially cause I'm currently using the S25 Ultra as my primary phone, so we don't really have Safari there to sync, and also my Windows PC, so yeah, Brave just works fine for me. Then I have Simple Notes. This is the app where I manage all the scripts of my videos. So if I open it for you can see thousands of scripts and random thoughts written down. So this is my favorite notes app for this purpose. Why I like this one in specific is because it's a totally free app and it syncs cross-platform, Windows, Android, Mac, everywhere. The only downside of this app is that you can't really categorize things into different folders. Like, why though? We should have this upgrade, but nevertheless, I don't really do any organizational stuff here. I just note down my scripts and then tally it with whatever device I'm currently using. So it's always stays synced, and that's what I look for. Spotify is still my main music app of choice. I mostly like it for the playlist that we have, and I can also create blends with my friends to see who has a superior music taste, and of course you know who has. And why I personally use Spotify the most is because suppose I have Spotify playing on my TV and I can just change the song from my phone itself, so that's really convenient no matter which device you're on. And yeah, in case you didn't know, I make music as well by the name of Flazix, and here are my songs. I mostly produce house music. Next up is Procreate. So basically here I do some digital art when I'm like in a mood of doing so. Like I drew this Kakashi photo, and which I'm really proud of, but for the most part I use Procreate to like plan out my YouTube thumbnail. For example, this is the plan I set for the thumbnail of this video. Hopefully it will turn out something like that. Google Drive, of course, it's very self-explanatory, so I have many things synced with my Mac over there, and also it's easy to share videos and files to my editor using this one, so that's that. My favorite AI assistant till this day is ChatGPT, of course, but currently I'm also trying out Perplexity because I got the free version of Pro thanks to Airtel, so I'm currently setting it up to manage my workflow more, and let's see how it turns out actually when I'm using it for a long time now. With the new update, we finally have the app drawer right over here, so we don't have to scroll all the way to the end. So this is kind of neat, and I can access everything from here. 4 or 5 years back, I used to like categorize everything by creating different folders like finance, productivity and stuff like that, but with this app drawer it kind of does that for me automatically, so I don't have to make folders and do those stuff manually, so that's a good addition. And speaking of the apps that I use itself, so firstly Photos apps for checking my photos, of course. I kind of prefer using Notion calendar on my PC and Mac, but the iPad app here is it's really bad. So I'm still stuck with using Apple Calendar as of now. But for the most parts, I don't really do any kind of time blocking here on Apple Calendar. I can just check my schedule on what I have and what video needs to be uploaded on what day. So it kind of helps me in that aspect. So yeah, calendar, of course, basic stuff. Then we have Notion. This is like the project management hub for my YouTube channel. So for example, I'll give you a sneak peek of what are the videos I'm currently working on. So these are the reels that I'm currently working on, and these are the full videos. So you can like stalk me and see what all are coming on my channels. And the best part is that I can share this view with my editor, so we both are in sync on like what needs work and what is pending of which video. So this kind of helps me manage my schedule like with deadlines and stuff, and also helps me track the progress of every single video of mine. So yeah, that's neat. Earlier I used to store all my scripts here in Notion, but I prefer using Simple Notes because Notion is kind of very slow in that aspect, whereas Simple Notes is very swift. So yeah, I store my scripts over there as of now, and only do my work related project management here on Notion. All my personal tasks and projects gets managed here on Todoist, as I previously mentioned. So yeah, I kind of keep my both holes separate like that. Then is the camera app, just in case I want to snap something or mostly scan stuff here and there. App Store, why not? And then we have Medium. So this is one of my favorite apps, like especially when I'm in the washroom, I like to use this app the most instead of doom scrolling on Insta. So yeah, that's always helpful. If you don't know about Medium, it's basically like YouTube but for articles. So I can search whatever I want. For example, let's say I want to create a video on the best apps for macOS and wants to brainstorm ideas. So I can simply search up best apps for Mac, and it will give me thousands of articles to choose from, and I can go through all those and select the apps that I would like to use and then make my video as per that. So this is kind of helpful for researching and stuff. Next up is YouTube Studio. So you can see this on every YouTuber's phone or tab. Quite helpful to check my analytics and see how my videos are performing and stuff like that. And also I use that to check all of your comments. So even if I don't reply, I most of the time see it and take notes on what videos I can work on. YouTube, of course, because why not? And also I'm subscribed to YouTube Premium. It's really helpful for people like me because I watch YouTube a lot, even more than Netflix and stuff. And also, where else will you find me if not on YouTube? So yeah, the YouTube app lies over there. Then we have YouTube Music. Although I use Spotify as my main thing, but when I just want to play stuff randomly, then I prefer using YouTube Music for that. The thing is that I kind of prefer the recommendation system of YouTube Music. Like if I play a particular song, the next few songs will be like the kind of songs I would like to listen to and not some random new song that I would like to discover. So when I have to discover new music, I often go to Spotify, but when I just want to hear what I want, YouTube Music is my way to go. Reddit is next up because it's Reddit after all. Instead of doom scrolling Instagram, I kind of doom scroll Reddit a lot and see what people are up to nowadays. And I've only subscribed to like tech related and productivity subreddits and F1 also, like the stuff I'm only interested in, so that I only see all those stuff and not random cat videos because I prefer doing that on Insta. Milano, this is a visual based note taking app. Like for example, I've generated few scripts from ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude or somewhere else. So this is a place where I can visually see all my scripts all at once. We have this like comparison view, which I really like. So in order to go back and forth in between scripts, so this is a very good way to like get some inspiration and see everything side by side. It's quite handy. Skillshare, cause to be honest, even till this day, I like to upskill myself every now and then, like learning new filming techniques or video editing techniques or whatever I'm into at that moment. So I'm still subscribed to Skillshare for that. Not sponsored, by the way. I almost use this every single day, if not every day. And then we have settings. I have kept it here because it's easier for me to touch from my left hand. And yeah, convenient. GoodNote 6 is next up. It's my favorite handwritten note-taking app, like I previously mentioned. So every day I open this planet template of mine. I've pasted it on different videos of mine. Why I use this one is because I created it myself, so I know what exactly I needed. So I have added every single segment. And this one should cover every aspect of your life for the most parts. For example, let's take a look at my planner for today. So the daily highlight. Daily highlight is basically the most important task for the day, which for me was to shoot this video. So that goes there. That was the one single task that I have to get done today. On the left side, I have my schedule. It's basically the calendar blocking system. And on the right, I have my to-do list. So what are the tasks that I need to get done? So I have to edit one OnePlus reel, then create the thumbnail for that. And also, like I said, I have to get my controller picked up. And everything you saw on Todoist is here as well. So every morning when I wake up, I personally prefer writing it down by my own hands because it gives me a sense of accountability. And then I can like add it to Todoist so that it syncs with every single device of mine and it's easier to manage it from there. And speaking of the schedule, this is the time blocking part, as I said. So at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I was working on the OnePlus reel, and now it's around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. something like that. So I'm currently shooting the video right on schedule, as you can see, and I have to shoot a few more stuff. So it's around like 4 to 5 p.m. and 7 to 8 I'll be going to the gym today. I generally go in the morning, but it's Saturday, so I kept it for evening. And after 8 p.m. I can like chill at home or maybe go somewhere with my friends and party and stuff like that. And also the habit tracker here so that I can stay accountable to my workouts and my diet which I'm trying to. And also the notes in case I forget something. So it's quite handy to have that segment here as well. If you're interested in this planner, you can check it out from the link given in the description. You can simply import the PDF into your favorite notes app and you can manage your life accordingly. Try it out, it's super helpful. And I mostly use the weekly planner view the most because it gives me an idea of how my entire week would look like. So that kind of helps. Netflix, of course, where else are you gonna binge watch random stuff? Next up is WhatsApp. Finally, we have an WhatsApp app for iPad. This one basically works like WhatsApp web. So my main WhatsApp is on my iPhone still. And as you can see, my iPhone is not really in a good condition. So I don't use it much nowadays. I'm using my S25 Ultra. So I'll be upgrading to the iPhone 17 Pro when it comes out. But as of now, I manage WhatsApp using my iPad only from here. Monitor Plus. This app really helps me. If you have a Sony camera, this can be so much useful. And I'm also currently using that to film this video. I'll just take a quick video to show it to you. So yeah, this is what my setup looks like at this moment. So this is the app Monitor Plus. I can like manage everything from here, like the shutter speed, ISO and everything, and the focus area also. This app is really helpful for me. I can like use it as my like monitor for that. Audible, because I really like to listen to audiobooks, so I have many of them. I've been currently listening to this audiobook called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. This book is about negotiations on everyday aspect of your life. So I'm currently learning that, and so that I can land better deals for myself and stuff like that. It's just helpful to be a good negotiator. And this was pretty much my home screen. Whatever I do lies from here only, but I'll just show you what other apps I have that I don't use frequently that much. So onto the second page. So PayPal for tracking any payments that I'm receiving, and I prefer not to have any mail app or any social media apps on my homepage. So Gmail for basic stuff, replying to mail. I don't use any other mail client. And the Instagram app on the iPad still sucks. It's still not a native app, and this looks really ugly, to be very honest. And also please follow me on Instagram. You can find my reels and also some behind the scenes content on my stories. So yeah, check it out. Then we have the Amazon Alexa app, because I have many smart home devices and 3 different Echo devices on 3 of my rooms. So that's kind of helpful. So for example, I can quickly toggle the AC even if I am not in my home. For example, I'm coming from somewhere and I need to shoot the video as soon as I return. So it's very convenient to cool down my room beforehand. So yeah, I use it for that. Then the default Apple apps for a bit. And for listening to podcasts, I prefer using the Apple Podcast app nowadays. Earlier, I used to use Spotify for that, but ever since I started listening to podcasts on Spotify just recommended me different podcasts and not good music anymore. So yeah, I ditched that. I'm stuck with Apple Podcast as of now. Discord for connecting with my gamer friends, so that's helpful. Then we have Casper Sky Password Manager. This is basically a password management app which I won't be opening for sure. And I can also store my card info and stuff like that. So while making a purchase, this is really handy. Zoom, of course, for attending meetings and stuff. Apple Notes, I used to use this one a lot, and I still have a lot of things categorized into folders. But why I mostly don't use Apple Notes nowadays is because I can't use it on my Windows and the web version is really bad. So I switched to Simple Notes for that. DaVinci Resolve is my primary video editor on my PC as well as on my Mac. So in case I'm traveling light and just need to get a few edits done or maybe work on reels and stuff, I prefer doing that here on my iPad. It's much more convenient. And this is a full-fledged app. So everything I'm acquainted to on my Mac is here right here. So no need to worry about it. Twitch, because I occasionally like to watch a lot of gaming streams, cause just for fun. And I mostly use Twitch when I'm like working. Like I can play any random stream and they do their thing and I do my thing. So yeah, it kind of helps me like stay accountable and not feel alone while I'm working. Prime Video, it sucks now, but yeah, some shows are only available there, so it's still there. Google Keep is there because I mostly like note down my meeting notes over there so it can sync properly. Then we have Twitter, X, whatever, I'm still gonna call it Twitter. And then we have Recall. This one is a really cool app. It can like transcribe your YouTube videos and give you summaries instantly. So I previously created a dedicated video on that. You can check it out if you're interested. Quite an amazing AI tool, and this is one of the rare AI apps that I use other than ChatGPT, of course. Also, I'm currently working on the best video editing apps for iPad videos. So I have Final Cut Pro and LumaFusion for that aspect. So I'm currently testing them out and will make a video when I'm done. Fan code for watching MotoGP and F1. I'm really into Formula 1, so yeah, this is the place where I can watch it. Flip is a sampler app. So I'm a DJ, as I previously mentioned. So I can like do random stuff here, create music from here. We have all the controls like the piano roll settings and stuff like that. But I mostly use this one for the drum pad, so I can use it to perform while like jamming with my friends. They play the guitar and I can do the drums and stuff like that from here. LinkedIn, cause you need to have that, unfortunately. So Seaboard by Rolly, this is still my favorite synth app, and this is how I started. So therapeutic. Claude is another AI assistant just like ChatGPT. And as far as I know, this one is the best one for generating text and stuff like that. So I'm currently testing this one out as well. Not fully acquainted with this one, but I'm still trying it out. And on the third page, the first thing we have is FL Studio Mobile. So I produce music on the FL Studio app on my PC. This one I don't use that much. So especially on the go while traveling, if I get any melody idea or something like that, I can create them here and I can simply export the MIDI file onto my PC and start working right from where I left off. So yeah, that's kind of helpful. And as I said, I am a DJ myself, so Recordbox is there for that. So as you can see, Pioneer DJ. So the default app for Pioneer is Recordbox. They rebranded themselves to Alpha Theta. I don't know why they did that, but yeah. So Recordbox for DJing and stuff like that. And Geo Hotstar is there for watching Premier League games and maybe some Marvel movies also. Gumroad for tracking the sales of my daily planner as well as my Lightroom presets that I sell over here. Link in the description. Again, a bunch of default Apple apps. And then we have Telegram, of course. GarageBand is like a cut down version of Logic Pro. I don't use Logic Pro because I primarily produce music on my PC. So yeah, FL Studio all the way. I'm subscribed to Creative Cloud, so I get access to Photoshop here on my iPad as well. I don't really create any full-fledged thumbnails over here. I prefer doing that on my MacBook, because sometimes when I need to remove something from my photos or get some quick edits done, this is a good way to do that. Lightroom, this is the one that I primarily use for editing all my photos. It's so therapeutic, especially with the Apple Pencil and stuff. Apple TV Plus, because I got a free subscription of Apple TV Plus with my Airtel connection as well, so thanks to them. On the next page, we again have random apps. So SoundCloud, because there are still many artists who only upload on SoundCloud, so I can listen to them and the mixes they have from here. So Facebook, I don't really use it anymore. Flipkart for shopping now and then. Then we have the Steam app to check any sales on the games that I can buy. I have a gaming PC, so Steam is an essential part for that. Pinterest is for occasionally browsing random photos and ideas. Google Photos, Chrome, Google Meet, self-explanatory. Same for Google Calendar. Amazon again for shopping. Although I have the Kindle, I still have the Kindle app just in case I forget it at my home and I want to read something on the go. Notability is another handwritten note-taking app. I prefer using GoodNotes, but I'm currently working on the video on GoodNotes versus Notability for this year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Then we have a few games here as well. Like Hitman Go is the first one. It's basically a puzzle-based game on the Hitman franchise and it's quite interesting. So I have kept that, especially when commuting, when I'm traveling in a cab or going somewhere. It's good for that part. Procreate Dreams is an animation app. Although I'm not an animator, but it's quite a cool app and I would like to try it out someday. 8-Ball Pool, because I really love playing pool and occasionally here as well. And then we have two apps that is solely for nostalgic purposes. Firstly, Angry Birds 2. Needs no introduction. And then it's one of my favorite apps on the iPad, on the iPhone as well, Delta. This is basically a game emulator app. So you can play those retro games from NES, Game Boy Advance and stuff like that. So I was a big fan of the game called Pokemon Fire Red for the Game Boy Advance and I really played here. Very satisfying. Google Docs and Google Sheets, pretty much self-explanatory. And now we are on the final page of my iPad. So Notion Calendar, because I said I use that on my Mac, but it's not really the best here, so I often skip it up. Threads for occasionally scrolling. The Calculator app is here because I mostly access my calculator from the control center that we have, so I've kept it away from my site. Concepts is the whiteboard app that I primarily use, and this color wheel is super satisfying. I can go doing this all day. Nevo is my favorite note-taking app, as in handwritten note-taking app on the Android tablet. I don't use it much here on the iPad because I prefer using GoodNotes, but yeah, it's good to have. Then GTA Vice City. This is one of my all-time favorite games, and I really have it here because mostly again for the nostalgia factor and occasionally play it as well. So I love this game simply more than GTA 5. So let's see what GTA 6 brings us. Steam Link is for when I'm lazy. I have a gaming PC, but I don't want to sit straight and play games, so I can stream it here and play it like this. So yeah, as Paul. This I downloaded mostly for reviewing this tablet to check the graphics performance, but yeah, I occasionally like to race a bit as well. Managing my credit card dues and paying my credit card bills, so yeah, adulting is hard. So anyways, these are all the apps that I use on my iPad on my daily basis. As I said, I mostly stay on the front page and I can simply search any app I want, so I mostly stick to the main page itself. So let me know in the comments if there is any app that caught your eye and you'd like to try it out for yourself. But now if you would like to know what my absolute favorite iPad apps are, then click here on this video, and over there I've only shared my favorite apps that I use every day and can't live without, and I covered everything in much more detail. So yeah, you'll find it interesting. See you there.